This is iCastNews.com, live and direct from United Nations headquarters in New York City. And this is Bubbling Under and Bubbling Over. The biggest news of 2017 is news that may affect one of the biggest creatures on four legs in the world. China, the largest importer of African ivory in the world, has declared in a game-changing announcement that it is going to stop the sale of ivory by the end of 2017 with a regiment that goes into effect in March of this year. African elephants once roamed in numbers more than 1 million not too long ago. When the old world order was collapsing 25 years ago with the destruction of the Soviet Union, more than 1 million elephants roamed throughout Africa. Now, the number is less than half that, maybe some believe only 400,000. Since 1989, there has been, under the CITES Treaty, the Convention on International Trade in Endangered Species, Fauna and Flora, a ban on selling African ivory. But the slaughtering of these magnificent elephants has been going on relentlessly, year in, year out. Tusks taken from elephants can bring poachers up to $1,000 per kilo. A kilo is 2.2 pounds. In beleaguered, poverty-ridden Africa, that's a great deal of money. Slaughtered elephants are a symbol of the continued economic colonialism which the more developed world is visiting on the developed world. And the single largest market for ivory, look at this map of the ivory trade. Ivory goes from Africa, from a number of countries, down through Hong Kong, through the Far East to China. China, where even though they are rounding up and trying to interfere in this trade, where they take illegally taken tusks from elephants and burn them to try and halt this market, even though there's the destruction sometimes of $100 million in ivory, still the insatiable market in China has driven the slaughter of African elephants. There have been a relentless campaign across Africa, advertisements to stop killing elephants. Look at this advertisement, which, is the most graphic for stop killing elephants. It's part of a campaign that's been going on since 1989. Now, it has taken a long time for this kind of ad, propaganda, information, call it what you will, to take root. Only in July 2016 did the United States totally ban the sale of ivory. In China, this is considered part of the art, the high culture of China. Chinese tusk carving is a world-renowned art form, and it's said to be a cultural accomplishment, something to show off for the new middle class. Also, perhaps one of the reasons behind this is that many high officials in China, official delegations coming home from Africa, Chinese delegations, are bringing ivory as bribes, as gifts. And as the leader of China, Xi Jinping, is trying to root out corruption, trying to create an image of China as an ecological civilization, stopping the ivory trade maybe makes him look good. Elephants all across all the different little countries in Africa are disappearing. This graph shows you the relative number of elephants that are still living in various parts of Africa. African elephants are not thriving in any one place, and the expansion in different countries of urban civilization, suburbs, creating farms, all interferes with elephants' natural habits, and this is compounded by the poaching slaughter of African elephants all across the country. The hope is that this ban in China, the largest market in the world for ivory, 70% of the world's illegal ivory trade goes on in China, that this ban will give African elephants a chance to recover, to roam, and to enjoy at least lifespans where the African elephant is threatened. So whatever is the motivation, whether Xi Jinping truly wants to stop the destruction of animals in Africa, whether he wants to really create an ecological civilization as a model or even as a propaganda device for China, whether he wants to cut off the ability of Chinese officials to use ivory as bribery. The motivation is not as important as what this ban on selling illegal ivory in China may do. It may give these large animals, these powerful pachyderms, these symbol of gentility and intelligence, and Africa itself, a chance to roam the country, to thrive, to be set against the magnificent scenery of the mountains and the plains of Africa. That is a big hope for 2017. For ICASTnews.com, live and direct from United Nations headquarters in New York City, for Bubbling Under and Bubbling Over, I'm Jonathan Sanders.